Hi, so it's Sarah again. Hi, I'm going to talk about centeredness. One of the ways that we can come out of centeredness is to be triggered by watching the news, media, seeing something happen, just biting into what's going on around us. So the easiest way to get centered is to actually try and breathe. And as you breathe, sigh relief, and then come back to being within yourself, and just noticing your breath as you just let go any feelings or stress or tension that you're feeling. It's not always easy in the heat of the moment, but there's so much going on around the world at all levels, because we're in a multi-dimensional world, that it's quite easy to get pulled out of being centered. And when we are centered, we can come from a point of being present in the moment and trying to be our best that we can be. Gary Reynard, Disappearance of the Universe, talks about observing but not biting into the energy. So there's also a quote about, to bring peace to the earth is strive to make your own life peaceful. So if you can become peaceful and centered within yourself, then you can take a step back and realise what's your stuff and what isn't your stuff, and just breathe out the stuff that's not yours and let it go. Again, it's not easy. We're humans, and we're having a human experience on this planet, so the best we can do is the best that we can do. It's just reminding ourselves to give ourselves a break and just be centered when we need to be. It's also great, another way, rather than just breathing, is to kind of ground yourself. So you've probably heard of grounding, where you can be bare feet on stone, sand, or in the sea. It's a great way to de-ionise the body. And it's also a great way if you just visualise bringing in the sunshine and connecting down to the centre of Gaia and feeling at one with yourself, the universe and Gaia. And that's another great way to become centred. And also another way that can be fun is a phrase that will bring you out of the state that you're in and bring you back to being centred. For instance, there's a phrase from a movie where Neo is told there is no spoon. So that is a great one for me. If something's triggering me, I'll just pull back and think there is no spoon. So there is no energy to bite into, because it doesn't exist, which isn't always a good thing to do, or feasible. But as Gary Reynard said, if you're biting into the energy, you're coalescing the energies and giving them the ideas, the thought forms, actually a physicality to them. A little bit like the slit hole experiment. You're actually manifesting as you're pulling in the conscious thought, and by giving energy to it, you're actually fueling it to go further and become more solid and more of a natural thought form. So the best way is to try and transmute it, or to just observe it, send no energy, and then just remind yourself. So for instance, when I send the phrase to myself, there is no spoon, it makes me smile, because I know the next part in the movie was where she said, what's really going to bake your noodle is, would you have knocked that plant pot over? I think it was a plant pot, vase it was. So yes, that's another way, because that is a phrase that gets me out of the state, but also puts me into a lighter frame of emotion as well. And you can work on the stuff that is triggering you in slower time when you're not in that moment. But it's a great way to start the day, becoming centered, becoming focused, and just visualizing that your day is going to go absolutely fabulously, and take it from there and see what happens. So hopefully those few tips might make a difference. If they do, great, and if not, that's okay too. Take care. Have a fab day.